Aloha everyone and welcome back to the CO2 Rundown. I'm your host Chad Owens. Happy Hump Day Wednesday, midweek, peak of the week. You're in your groove. Man, we got some stuff to talk about today, but before we do, I gotta say mahalo to Long's Drugs for all of their support. Thank you so much for being a big part of the show. Make sure you guys are popping in there for your everyday needs. Let's dive on in to the CO2 Rundown. Huge congratulations to Jakob Thelle, junior setter for our University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior volleyball team. Big West Offensive Player of the Year. Talk about momentum, right? Player of the Year, Big West Championship, now going into the NCAA tournament. Our boys are primed and ready to go. Hey, defending national champs. I've talked about this before. We got that swagger, right? Hey, we're the marked men, but you gotta love being on top. You gotta love it. To me, that pushes you to work that much harder, to prepare that much harder, and to go out there and play that much harder. And so congrats again to Jakob on that huge honor. And I know we've been sort of getting that honor for the past previous seasons. And so that tells me one thing, is that we're a well-coached team. And that's another reason why head coach Charlie Wade is the Big West Coach of the Year. It's because he's got it done, right? He put together this group of men, and not just this year, but year in and year out. You got to reformulate the system because, hey, guys move on, guys transfer, people transfer in. It's a whole new team most times, each and every season. And so that head coach has to be able to manage all of that, coach, and hey, sometimes success can bring some outside noise, and to having the ability to weather all of that speaks volumes. And so congratulations to Coach Charlie Wade on an unbelievable honor, an unbelievable season, and good luck in the NCAA tournament. Let's go Bows. And staying right here with Dave Reardon, he's got an article in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser highlighting our Coach of the Year, Coach Charlie Wade. It sort of tells his story, where he came from, how he got to the point where he is today. And I found this interesting, right? Coach Charlie Wade wasn't always a volleyball guy. He grew up playing all other sports besides volleyball. He was a baseball guy. That's what he wanted to do. He had other plans, moving forward and thinking about his future. But as we all know, hey, things in life can change on a daily. It can change just like that. And so we are thankful, Coach Wade, that you found that new passion in volleyball and found your way here to the islands to bring us, multiple Big West championships, a national championship, and now pushing for a back-to-back natty title. So look, ladies, gentlemen, please go check out this article. It is a great read by Dave Reardon, again, in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser. The NFL draft is upon us, starting tomorrow and running through Saturday. Tomorrow will be the first round, right? And this is going to be an opportunity for a lot of these young men to live out their dream. For their dreams to come true ever since they were little boys. I remember my time, coming out of the University of Hawaii and getting ready to get drafted. I mean, just so much emotion. It was amazing. On one day, throughout this process, the draft process, you're waiting. You're thinking about all the things you've done, all the work you've put in, all the things you're gonna do and wanna do. It's a crazy, crazy time. But I wanna talk about the process a little bit, and I'm gonna talk about a few guys. First is Alabama's running back, Brian Robinson Jr. This guy, hey, thankfully he had an extra year because of the pandemic. But he was a backup his entire career, almost an unknown. But you know how Alabama is. They always have a stable of running backs. So in high school, he was probably the best in his, region. But going to Alabama, when it's a stable, you got to wait your time. He paid his dues. And it is worked out for him. He had a tremendous year and has put in the work. And now he's just going to have to wait for when his name is going to be called. So he took advantage of his one opportunity, his one season, and took his stock and rose it, right? To maybe he's a top pick, maybe he's a second round pick, but nonetheless, he had 1 year to prove himself, and he did just that. The other guy I want to talk about is our very own. I got to talk about him, Calvin Turner Jr., Mr. All-Purpose, Mr. Do-It-All. I know his draft grade probably isn't the highest, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have the skill level and the talent to be a great NFL player. You've got free agents that became great NFL players, Hall of Fame players. So Calvin Turner Jr., I see him as a very versatile player. Someone like an Alvin Kamara. He could play running back. He can run the ball. He proved that. He can run between the tackles. He's got the speed to get outside, and he can catch the football. And we all know what he does in the return game because he got all that space. Calvin Turner Jr., in my opinion, is going to be not a surprise pick, but it's going to be a big-time pick for whatever team that gets him. He's going to prove them right. And so, Calvin, hey, good luck, brother. Enjoy the process. It doesn't matter what round you get drafted in. Hey, if you become a free agent, it doesn't matter. Because when you're a first-round pick, free agent, you still got to show up and put in the work. The difference is the first-round picks, those high draft picks, they have to prove that they can't do it because they're going to get the opportunity, right? The later round picks, the free agents, they have to constantly prove that they can. And it's not a bad way to go about it. So, if you're a first round pick, man, have that mentality that regardless of the pick, I'm still going to go out there and prove it each and every day, right? You're going to earn the respect of your teammates and coaches that way. And if you're a free agent, late round guy, hey, that's just what you got to do until you get that opportunity and you make a play, you make another play, right? And then the rest is history. And so good luck to all the prospects in this year's NFL draft. Man, enjoy the process, but continue to do what you've done up until this point, and that's put in the work. I mentioned it before. Yes, keep them coming. And with our last scholarship available, our University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior men's basketball team awarded that to 7-foot-plus center More Sek out of Prolific Prep out of Napa, California. It's a Christian school, so he's got tremendous core values. And I believe that's the type of players that you want on any team, right? Someone that's got a solid foundation, right? Someone that comes in that can elevate their teammates. And he's definitely going to elevate everybody. He's going to cause problems in the middle of that court. So I'm excited. Shout out to the University of Hawaii for putting this team together. I can't wait to see how we come together this over the summer and going into next season. It's going to be exciting stuff. And Stephen Tsai wrote this one. He says that we went to great lengths. He wasn't lying. To fulfill this last scholarship spot. So make sure you guys check out his article in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser. And that is it for today's show. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Huge mahalo again to Long's Drugs. Make sure you guys are popping in there and making Long's a part of your day. I'll see you all come Aloha Friday.